Shaheem Reed. I'm here with the talented, the lovely, the accomplished Miss Jada George.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm good. Thank you for
Pleasure,
having
pleasure.
me.
I'm so impressed by just being in the presence of this young Black queen, doing so many things at such a young age. I just saw the movie not too long ago where the children go to play. Really dope. It's a short. And you're also working on television shows and series and other big productions in addition to this. Let's talk about what you're working on first outside of this film.
So right now I am writing a feature script. I'm hoping that this will lead me to that feature. You know, they always say get those shorts out so they can see your vision and see what your story's about. And with Where the Children Go to Play, I didn't write it. It was given to me by the producers, so I was really excited to kind of have that experience, but I'm really even more excited to get a story across that's something that's in my own words. So I have a romance film that I just finished writing, and I'm trying to get all the rewrites done for that so that we can hopefully see that coming in. And then also working with my boss. We're currently all over the television world right now. We have stuff from High Potential that just came out. You know, he's been on Grey's Anatomy, so I'm just learning a lot.
Wait, who's your boss? You gotta tell people who your boss is.
Yeah, my boss's name is Pete Chatmon. He's an incredible episodic director, and I call it the Pete Chatmon Film School because I've just been learning from him. I've been with him for 5 years, and he's just leading me. So it's been great.
How did this alignment with you and Pete come to pass? I know you've been out here in LA for about 5 years, coming from Maryland. Big up. You know, I got much love to the whole DMV area, Norfolk State University alumni, and
Hampton University
Hampton.
alum.
There we go. There we go. There we go. HU.
Yes.
I got number love for Howard, but Hampton, you know, that's my first HU.
Yes.
You know, being from the 7 cities over there and whatnot.
Yes.
And my man Nat went to HU back in the 90s, so big up to HU. And we used to go over there, have a lot of fun, but that's a whole other interview.
HBCU love. We could talk about HBCUs all day.
For sure.
Yeah.
How did go into an HBCU kind of inform you and help put you on the path to what you're doing today?
Yeah, so it was my first true introduction to film was when I got to when I got to Hampton, but there's a program that I interned with called HBCU in LA, and that's actually based here. And it's a program that gathers some of the brightest students from HBCUs, and it partners them with industry companies all across LA. It houses us out here on Sunset Boulevard, and you intern for 10 weeks, as well as you get studio tours, you get on-site visits with industry professionals. So I did that my sophomore year. I was at Paramount Pictures and living here on Sunset Boulevard, and that was my introduction to LA. And it was me along with other incredible students from HBCUs from all across, you know, the HBCU map, and we're all out here still. So it's been fun to watch, and we're all kind of coming up in this industry together. I have people literally at every company, so it's like the connections are deep, and it's just been fun to watch us all grow, and knowing that in a few years we're all going to be passing the baton and signing the checks. So that's it. Yeah, that program, I'm now on the board of trustees for it, and it's just been a full circle moment with that.
Wait, you're on the board of trustees?
For HBCU in LA, yes.
So quickly, how did you get to that anointed position?
You know, they gave me everything that I have out here. Like, I would not be out here without HBCU in LA. So I knew that in 2018. And from there, like, whenever Miss Stacy, who's the founder, whenever she gives me a call, I drop everything I'm doing to make sure I'm showing up. So whether that's taking video for the students that are here, or there's a lot of events that happen outside of the internship program. So I'm always there with my camera and just figuring out how I can be a part of it and how we can grow it, because I think there's still a lot of people who don't know about it, but what it's doing, you know, we're really revolutionizing this industry, and it's like a sneak attack in a way. So it's kind of just about putting it on a bigger platform. So I'm just excited to be a part of that and learning how we can elevate it.
What was the culture shock like? You know, not just, you know, coming out here to do the work, but just the culture of, you know, coming from Maryland, East Coast city, going to VA, even though VA is not that far from Maryland, you know, 3 hours depending on how fast you're driving.
Yeah. Look, 2.5.
2.5, right? Speed demon, right?
Yeah.
But you know, going from Maryland, going to VA, and then ultimately coming out here to LA. I remember the first time I came to LA, and I was on assignment, and I flew out here, and you see the palm trees, and I'm going to the Four Seasons and doing interviews with LL Cool J and Samuel L. Jackson, and it's like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
What was it like for you?
I think it was similar in a sense. I think when you touch ground here in LA, it just like your eyes just widen, and it shows you firsthand all the possibilities, all the opportunities, and then it really just becomes a thing of you, like how bad do you want it, and how bad are you willing to be on the ground and in the mix. So I learned that, thankfully, in 2018. I think without that experience, I would have showed up completely different when I did move, and at the end of 2019. But in 2018, I saw the hustle. I saw that, you know, I'm at Paramount every day. I'm walking amongst the stars. I'm seeing people in restaurants and people that you've dreamt of seeing. So it kind of just became that hustle mentality. I think I knew that you could do anything. When you see things, it kind of, it's like you can't tell me that I can't do something when I'm seeing it. So that hustle mentality was big, and that's when I bought my first camera, actually, that summer. And
what was the first camera you bought?
Sony A6000. I still have it.
Okay.
And that led me to so many opportunities. I started going to concerts and sneaking my camera in and posting the pictures, and Ari Lennox is actually the very first concert I went to, and I shot it, and I ended up getting invited to the Smoke and Grooves Festival with her as an artist pass.
Nice.
Because she liked the photo so much. So that kind of just became my hustle of being like, okay, I'm gonna lock in with this concert photography. I ended up going on tour with her. I got some shots of Pharrell. I worked with him a few times, and all of this, it was just stuff that I knew I had to do, but I knew film was in the back of my head still. But again, it's like everything is married to each other. So it's like you do one thing, you never know what it'll lead to. So it's just about showing up. And I think being in LA, you see that hustle, you see the people around you hustling, and you're missing out if you sleep too long.
No, you got to be on it, because there's a lot of people that come out to LA and they get caught in the party lifestyle and, you know, trying to be Hollywood before they even break into Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
But then you have, and what I'm so proud of, I see so many young people, older people, just with a real laser focus and determination, and they want to get their creativity out to the universe in a respectable manner, but at all costs, you know, like they got to do whatever they got to do. Obviously keeping their morals and everything intact, but, you know, just conducting themselves in such a pristine manner to get to where they want to go.
Exactly, that's what it's about.
Yeah. So how did you go from shooting on tour and taking pictures of Pharrell and Ari Lennox to the set of Reasonable Doubt?
Yeah, so I moved here at the end of 2019. So right when tour ended, I remember the last stop, they continued after me, but I stopped in DC. So I started with them in Virginia Beach.
And
back to VA. Exactly.
VA, baby.
I started in Virginia Beach. Then we went to about maybe 6 cities. And then by the time we got to DC, that's where I dropped off, because they ended up going to Canada, and I did not have my passport at that time.
Okay.
So
that's a lesson to everybody.
Yes, be ready.
Passport.
So you don't got to get ready.
Yeah, get your passport, your driver's license, everything is freedom. You got to get your real ID now.
Yes.
Get
and
all
do
your
it sooner than
paperwork.
later.
And it's not that expensive either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I stopped in DC. My dad immediately took me to go get my passport because he was like, "This will never happen again."
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it just became about, how do I get back to LA? So we did all the research. Again, I stayed on Sunset in 2018, so that's the area that I knew. So I did a lot of apartment shopping from online, and then once I finally locked in somewhere, I moved here in October of 2019, and I got here on a Thursday. That Saturday, Ava DuVernay was having an event at her campus, her production studio, and I went there. I met this lady in line who ended up telling me that she was working on Mixed Dish. And she was like, "Yeah, there's a rap party happening tomorrow if you want to go as my plus one." Because I was telling her, like, I just moved here, I don't have a job, like. But she saw, again, that eagerness, and I was on the ground, and I meant everything that I said about it. And I think that's how you have to show up. You have to prove to people that you're not just out here for play, as you were saying.
Right.
Like, you got to really be about it, and people will see that. So she invited me to the rap party, and that's where I saw my boss, because he was directing a few episodes of Mixed Dish, and he's done Blackish and Grownish, so he's like big in that space. And I saw him. I knew who he was. It was funny because he had just come back from Howard University. He was doing a lecture with the film students, and I remember seeing it online and being like, "Man, like, I wish we had this when I was in school." We weren't doing this stuff. So I had just finished doing my research on him, and then of course I saw him. Mm-hmm. So I just connected with him again, told him I just moved out here, don't have a job. He asked me for my resume just to see how he could help, and then COVID hit. So then months went by. I wasn't expecting anything from him, but thankfully he ended up reaching out to me. I want to say it was around May of 2020, and he was just saying, I've been trying to figure out how I can help you find a job, but I could just hire you myself. So he got me on a call, and he was like, would you want to be my director's assistant? This is what goes into it. And I was like, yes, absolutely. So from there, I've been with him, and that was during COVID, so everything was shut down. So we started a podcast that I'm now co-producer for. I helped him write a book that he has that kind of is just inspiring people to get into this industry. And then once the shows began picking up again, it was fun to have access to that and kind of just seeing all the work that goes into being an episode director. And then when Reasonable Doubt came, he was actually the producing director of Reasonable Doubt. So I was able to join him on set every day. I was literally sitting behind Larry Wilmore and Kerry Washington and just watching him. And I would be like, I'm used to the PA life. So I'm like, do you need coffee? Do you need, I need to go get you something. And he's like, no, sit in this chair, bring your iPad, and take notes and watch and ask me questions and absorb.
Wow.
So that's kind of been our relationship.
That's beautiful.
He's just pouring into me, and the opportunities, the interactions I've been able to have. I mean, I'm sitting amongst the greatest, and it's just about being a professional fly on the wall at that point and just downloading it all.
So what exactly are the duties for the people that's watching this and, might want to get in? Because it's not everybody's calling to be an actress. It's not everybody's calling to make the music for the soundtrack. There are a lot of different jobs that you can do to be a part of filmmaking and production and and just entertainment in general. And you got a dope, fly job, but what's some of the responsibilities and some of the duties that you have?
Yeah, so just an umbrella of it all. My job is to make my boss look good. It's to make his job easier, and it's to make him look good. So that can range from anything. I think being a director's assistant, it's really based on what the director's needs are. Everybody preps differently. Everybody has different ways of going about, the duty of being a director, so it'll look different. But with my boss specifically, we have the podcast, so that's just about booking talent and making sure everybody's on board with it, figuring out what the topics are going to be, some of the questions, and doing endless research on who people are so that I can give him, you know, just a sheet that just has all their information so that he's prepared and not, you know, showing up not knowing who people are. So that's a big thing, even when it comes to just interviews outside of the podcast. I'm big on just helping him prep and do research on people. There's some, you know, I do the merch for his website. So kind of just really, I told him, like, I'm a creative first. So if there's anything that you need, like, just ask me and I'm gonna figure it out. So, you know, reading scripts and stuff, there's scripts that he has been writing, and kind of just being able to, in a way, be his second brain and add new thoughts, new ideas, new perspective that will just enhance it overall. So it ranges from so much, but I think the beauty is it's really being in the director's seat without having the pressure of being the director.
That's great.
It's just studying, learning. I have the freedom to ask him anything. You know, he shares with me certain things, and, you know, he's just molding me.
So the podcast is called Let's Shoot with Pete Chatmon. You're working on it. Now you decide to shift and direct your own short. Mm-hmm. How did you get into that? I know you said the producers called you up and they're like, "Hey, I got this script."
Yeah.
It's set in the future, almost to the year, you know, 21.
Yeah.
You know, break that down for us.
Yeah. So again, I think it was just the urgency behind it. So being with Pete, it's been okay. I've been collecting all these gems. So now how do I put myself in a position where I can apply it and prove to myself or show myself that, you know, I'm really understanding what I've been learning over these few years. So when Alex and Josh brought me the script, it's so outside of my wheelhouse. Again, I'm so used to doing romance and comedy here and there. But again, working with Pete in episodic directing, you know, 1 week will be on action, the next week will be on drama, then we'll be on romance, then on sci-fi. So again, that showed me that you don't have to put yourself in a box the way most people think. So it's kind of just, when you're a director, your job is to enhance the story no matter what genre it's in.
For sure.
So I was just excited that it was sci-fi. And once I read it, you know, my mind immediately began moving. So I started going on Shot Deck, which is an incredible website where you can just, it's like Pinterest or Instagram, but just for film. So you can literally search up a movie and it'll just have every frame from that movie. Wow. So that helps you with, if you're looking for inspiration for, you know, I have two people in a scene, what are the different ways you can shoot two people? You literally are just scrolling through, looking at what other directors have done and looking at the composition and stuff like that. So I use that for inspiration. You know,
what's some of the films that inspired you?
Some of the films that inspired me. So visually, I'll say I like Wes Anderson because he has a style where you can look at it and you know that it's his. So I always watch Asteroid City, which is one of his recent films. You know, I sometimes watch that with the sound off and just look at it, and that inspires me a lot. I'm inspired by Gina Prince-Bythewood mainly, you know, Love and Basketball, Woman King, Beyond the Lights. She is like 100%, you know, the lane that I'm following is behind her footsteps, just in terms of story. And then, you know, I'm a Disney kid. I grew up watching Kenny Ortega and the Cheetah Girls and High School Musical. So I just enjoy movies that make you feel something, movies that are fun, movies that make people think. And most of all, I think for our community, it's important that we have movies that give us an escape. You know, I think too many times we're seeing things that reflect our realities in a sense that almost feels traumatic. And it's hard for us to just go to the movie theater and watch something that feels good with us on screen. Yeah. And then walk away with a smile and feeling inspired. So that's the lane that I really hope to fill. But yeah, I just love film, and for Where the Children Go in particular, I watched What Happened to Monday and Black Mirror a lot. So that's really what kind of helped me get into the world of sci-fi and the technology and all that stuff.
Solana, do you believe there is a sanctity to human life? We will begin now.
This exam is administered by synthetic entities only.
Please, sit back and relax.
Broken! I am not broken!
Do it! And this one, it's it's not like you're on location, like in the streets of LA or running around Times Square. You're on the set, and it's some very intense interactions with two different characters, and they have to go in front of this two-person board, I would say, to really decide if they're worthy of what's going to be revealed. But when you have that sort of density, when it's that real intimacy with just like three people interacting in the scene, what is that like? Where you get the actors to kind of trust each other, because it's a lot of emotion that has to be conveyed.
Yeah, so the fun thing about this was we had about maybe 2 weeks to prep, and then we had 3 days to shoot. So that very first shoot day on Friday, most of us were meeting each other for the first time. And knowing that it was minimal location, minimal characters, it really became about the performance. And then also when we got to post, it became about that sound design, which was huge because that's what kind of helps us tell the story as well. 15 minutes of them sitting at a table, basically. So it was like, how do I keep people interested for this entirety of this film? So it really became about the blocking. It became about, who these characters are and what are the mannerisms, if you will. So even when we had the proctors at first, we didn't know if they were aliens, robots. And then I think in around, last year, really, or 2 years ago, when the conversation of AI got heightened in a sense, that's kind of when we hit the nail on, these proctors, they're AI. It's the human form of AI. So I think that really helped us, seamlessly transition into production once we discovered that, because then it just became, okay, we're gonna give them yellow eye contact. That adds a whole, identity to them. And then kind of just the choppiness of how they talk. They're always in sync. So when they would move, we would be like, okay, on this word, when y'all hear this word, that's the cue to look at each other. So we had to really pick out every beat to make sure that the proctors were always in sync to kind of give that AI vibe, that robotic vibe. And it just flowed so well. Like a lot of the things that you see that actually made the cut, a lot of that are the first takes. Like the scene where Mason, he's crying and he had the snot coming out of his nose. I remember when we finished that, he turned and looked at us and he's like, "Was that okay? Should I do that again? I don't know if that felt right." We're like, "You had snot coming out of your nose." So I owe a lot of the credit to the actors. They showed up. Again, that was my first time meeting them that first day of set, and they just trusted me. They saw, the passion. We all just aligned in a sense of, like you said, we're young people, we're hungry, we're telling a story that isn't told often, especially with us at the forefront. So we were just excited and eager, and it flowed really well.
Now, one of the things that I thought was dope is that, and the message that I'm taking away is that a lot of times with AI and the computers and the phones, us being the OGs, we like, dang, we was outside before social media and all of this stuff, and we're kind of talking to, some of us are kind of talking to the young people and like, yo, y'all gotta be aware, be a little bit more present, because everything is not about the phone and all of that. And then this movie, it shows the evolution and almost the dangers, because I literally yesterday just saw Elon Musk on social media and he was dancing and he had a robot that they programmed to learn to dance. And then obviously we're seeing all of this stuff with AI and music, how you know, Timbaland has an AI artist, how there's a young black woman that has an AI artist that just got signed, and record labels are now going for AI artists. And you know, while everything is cool now, I think we're seeing that we might not be that far off from iRobot and the Terminator, and you know, even Back to the Future just came back in theaters, and a lot of the stuff from Back to the Future 2 is here now. So what's some of the message? I know what I was taking from it, but what's some of the messages that you, as a director, wanted to convey that was written down in the script?
Yeah, I think mainly it's really the story of what could happen when the technology that's created to help us ends up controlling us. And we're seeing that, as you said, with AI. You know, we're using it. People aren't even thinking about basic things anymore. They're using it to write basic emails. That's stuff that we know how to do, but we're becoming lazy because we have that access to something that will do it in 2 seconds. And I think that's going to start, you know, changing our mind. It's going to change how we speak to each other socially, in a social aspect. And we may not be seeing it now, but in a few years, even when you think back to COVID and think about all the students who either didn't have their graduation or their first year of college was virtual, we're seeing the effects of that now with everybody. You know, social anxiety is heightened. It's on, like, people don't want to go out in public anymore.
Right.
So now with AI, it's becoming too much of a crutch. And I think with watching Black Mirror, what I love the most is, although it's things that feel so out of reach, when you really look at it, you realize it's actually something that if it were to happen tomorrow, you wouldn't be surprised. So that's kind of the same case with this, where it's like, you know, we're touching on things, we're touching on these robots who feel, you know, with ChatGPT specifically, right, we're putting information that we know as humans, we're putting information into it. It's collecting all that information. And what does the reality look like when they're taking all this information and now they say, you know what, we feel we're smarter than humans, and now we're going to govern humans,
right?
Because you guys can't handle it. When you think of violence, when you think of all the things that just happen in the world that shouldn't, it's like, what happens when AI robots say, you know what, y'all aren't doing this right, y'all are killing the earth, y'all are killing each other, we're better than you, y'all have to answer to us.
You look at the collapse of the music industry, where all of these executives are being fired, all of these, literally hundreds of artists are being dropped from record labels. And a lot of these executives were signing artists based on AI, based on the algorithms, based on how many followers they have on social media. But some of the executives forgot about, let's just go for the feeling.
Exactly.
Let's just go about
and that's the universal language that we should always be after. But once you get rid of that, what is it? Like, what are we doing it for? And like you said, that's literally, you know, as much as the proctors or the AI can feel that they're more powerful than Solana and Seven, who are the candidates in the film, the one thing that they won't have is that sympathy aspect. And I think that's the fun part of the film, because in a way it's like, are they actually good though? Like, Solana and Seven go through this process for something that they think they want, but at the end the proctors kind of give them that weird smile, that like, congratulations, you know, you got what you wanted, even though we just broke you. So in a way it's like, they just broke our candidates just to prove that they can do that, just to prove that y'all are flawed. I'm gonna break you down. So it's like, there could be a world where they already knew that they were gonna, you know, spoiler, make it at the end. But it was really about, let me just prove to you that I can break you and show you just how flawed you are as a human, to prove my point, and then I'm gonna give you the thing that you're asking for. So it's kind of that story. And you notice the only time the proctors would glitch was when they would say human or humanity or era, because that's also just a statement saying that regardless, AI, ChatGPT, all that still is human-made, still man-made. So nothing could ever be perfect. Everything will always be flawed as long as there's some point of input from a human. So ultimately, who's really in charge.
That's dope. All right, so real quick before we end, again, this is a spoiler, so prepare yourself. I just want to ask you about the final shot in the short where they come in the room, they meet they know that they have to mate. They sit down, and then the last thing we see is them looking into the camera. Break that down, and it's almost like they have become robotic almost.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. That actually, I have a clip from when we did it. That was actually something that we did on the spot. I think it felt right in that moment. Even that whole transition from one room to another, when I saw the room and saw that, there's a world where we could do that, I immediately threw that clip in. So that whole last scene is kind of something that we threw in because there was an alternative last scene. But to me, it felt like the perfect ending. To me, it felt like they were just traumatized.
Yeah.
But they have to keep going. Now you're telling me, here's the person that I'm gonna, ultimately have a baby with. And
two.
Yeah, and now exactly two. And y'all are putting them into this room, this cold room that's like, welcome home. In a way, it was like, this is their first family portrait. So that's them sitting, that's them looking into the camera, that's them smiling. In a way, this is, when you take a family photo, this is how it looks. But the look on their face almost asks you, like, what is happening in their head? And there's so many thoughts happening in their head. They're wondering, I've waited my whole life for this, but is this like what I just went through? I was not expecting. So
right.
It's kind of them being scared of what's happening next. It's kind of them being, this is their first interaction with the proctors also. So they're, figuring that out. Like, are these actually good people? Are these bad people? Are they, like, who are they? So it's so many thoughts happening in their head, but also, again, in the proctors. And we were going to insert a proctor saying, smile, but we kind of just had them do it. But it's ultimately just that first family photo of, like, you got what you wanted. You're a perfect family now. Enjoy. But it's like, at what cost was all of this?
It's like you're starving, and somebody serves you a sirloin or a ribeye steak, but they serve it to you in a garbage can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you wanted it, you asked for it, but it's
there
like, but what are your true intentions?
What are your true intentions?
And I think it ended in the perfect way because I think there's so much that we can do with it, if we do, or when we do get the opportunity to make it a full feature. I think there's so much we could play around with, and, we kind of just went with our gut with that one.
Yeah, and lastly, the short is being entered in film festivals, and people are loving it. Tell me about the experience of the film festival circuit, and just the reaction that you've been getting.
Yeah, so this is my first time, going through the film festival circuit. So I think all in all, it's just been super fun to see it on the big screen, to see how the shots really hold up, to hear how it sounds in the theater with the whole surround sound. And I'm really proud of it. Like, it's really holding up. We're getting some great reactions. A lot of people coming up to me afterwards, asking me questions, sometimes things that I wasn't even thinking about. So it's introducing new ideas and thoughts to me, which is always funny because, they always say you're never really finished with the film until you completely stop watching it. Because even when you are watching it on a big screen, there's always new ideas where people will be like, oh, was it intentional that they had a room with red floor with white walls and then they had blue on? Is that symbolizing America? And I'm like, I didn't even think about it like that, but
yes.
Yes. So it's fun to just get people's ideas firsthand and get the live reactions, and it's been great. We are at 2 awards right now, and more coming on the way, hopefully. So some big festivals that we're waiting on, and some ones that will put us in the hands of some great. We're hoping to get nominated for Image Awards and stuff like that. So there's a lot of festivals that we're allowed to qualify for in that route. So fingers crossed, and I'm excited overall. I'm grateful for this opportunity for sure.
Well, listen, God has blessed you, and
Yes.
He's gonna continue to bless you. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of
Thank
you.
you.
I'm happy to be sitting here doing this interview. We're out at the festival right now. That's why you might hear a little bit of background noise. We had to sit down and just take some
The
time
hustle,
out.
gotta get it.
Yeah.
It
You
done.
gotta get in where you fit in. We're at a festival right now, out in LA. Shaheem Reid, the talented, the young genius, Miss Jada George.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, and big up to all of the HBCUs out there.
Yes,
too. Keep
first
doing
and
your thing.
foremost. Yes. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you so
it.
much.
Appreciate you.
No love in the city, hot cold, no pity. Tryna make it out the jungle, but the streets still with me. They don't care if you die.